Hey guys, it's Grizz over here at the Big Paw Garage. Long time no see. I am still alive. Working outrageous hours. I leave before the sun comes up. I don't get home most nights till after the sun goes down. Just wanted to kind of give y'all an update. I have not vanished from the face of the earth. I'm still working on projects as I can. But lately it's been like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 2 or 3 days, no time. It's just been crazy. First off, James, Mopar Modeler, dude. Thank you so much for the gift. It did arrive. I got it today, December 3rd. I didn't do a big unboxing because, I mean, we've all seen the kit, and I don't want to have the address off the box, you know, get out, because I don't know how you'd feel about that. But I am grateful, and I am going to have a lot of fun with that 50 olds. It's going to go, like I said, car that I had when I was a kid. You know, they say it's not just your father's Oldsmobile. Well, you're right. They were right. It wasn't my father's Oldsmobile. It was his, but he gave it to me because he said it had no hope. And, well, I gave it hope. I gave it a short-lived life. I drove it a while, but, you know, I was a kid. It was definitely a hot rod, and it was definitely tore up. So yeah, James, I'll be doing a video here. Matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do a step-by-step and maybe even come up with some how-tos out of this kit, because I'm going to have to do a lot of scratch building, maybe changing of a few things just to, you know, bring it to what it was when I had mine. But I'm gonna have a ball with it. I will post a video. I'm tickled to death. I've been wanting to get my hands on this kit for a while, especially this one here, because there's two versions of this kit floating around. One is the stock and hot rod version, and the other, which is the one you sent me here, is the stock and stock car version. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have some fun with this, because this is the exact kit I was trying to get my hand on. The 50 Olds Club Coupe 2-in-1 Revell Special Edition. As far as my other projects go, I tried joining into a lot of things. Never got to post a initial video for the last 48-hour build, which was TV cars. I had actually ordered a kit for that, which was the Monkey Mobile. I was going to build the Monkey Mobile for that, but the kit never came. Matter of fact, even up to a week ago was when the seller finally returned my money to my ATM card, because he said there was too many orders and not enough stock. And I'm sorry, my attitude about that is, which really irritated me, was if you don't have 10 kits, you don't sell 10 kits. So, you know, the money that I had taken out to buy that kit with was tied up for over a month for BS. So, right there's a warning for you guys. eBay's not always the best place to buy something to save $5. I'll never buy a kit from a private seller on eBay again. It'll either be a well-known storefront, or it'll be completely and totally off of well-known websites, because I'm not going through that again. with all these extra hours has come extra income. So I've got things purchased. Some of it I've got already. Some of it is on its way here. I ordered a paint booth. I ordered resin casting supplies because I used to do a lot of resin casting. I will be doing them again. And by the way, James, I will be saving your address, because when I get my casting supplies, I plan on sending you a Dodge Super 6, the inline 6-cylinder Dodge Slant 6. For that motor, I'm going to be modifying several parts. And once I get the parts made, I'm going to cast the motor, the parts, and everything. I'll send you a complete Dodge Super 6 kit to put in one of your cars. Because I know if you're anything like me and you remember the old days of Mopar, some of the baddest little 6-cylinder cars out there were the old Dodge Slant 6s. And we used to make our own intake and our own header and put big old bore 4-barrels on them bad boys. And they would scream. They're a high RPM motor right out of the factory gate. And you put that big 4-barrel on there, and man, I'll tell you what, we used to turn some of the V8s upside down. But, so James, yeah, you'll be getting one of those when I get there. It may be a couple months, but it will be coming to you. Because I know you're big on your Mopars. I kind of, like my old Mopars. I'm not as diehard into the well-knowns like Chargers and Challengers and Superbirds. I mean, I like them, but they're not my favorite thing to build. I like the old 60s era Barracudas. Matter of fact, if I could get my fingers on a 64 or a 65 Barracuda, man, I would be tickled to death. I like oddball stuff. And I don't know, maybe you guys have noticed from watching some of my videos, I build some off-the-wall, out-of-line stuff. I like it. Rather than a GTO, I'd rather have a Pontiac Tempest. Or, rather than building a Vega, I'd rather build a Nash Rambler or a Studebaker, because everybody's not doing them. I mean, and don't take this the wrong way, because I know somebody's going to throw a hissy fit and post nasty stuff to me for saying this, but I'm just saying it out of my personal opinion. There's only so many ways you can build a 70 Camaro or a Dodge Challenger that they don't all start kind of looking similar with just a different color sprayed on them. And that's the whole reason why car manufacturers change the body style almost every year, is because you can only have so many of them before people just start going, seen it before. So I like to do the oddball stuff that nobody thinks of. Matter of fact, my own personal car prior to moving and coming back to Pennsylvania when I lived in Florida, my favorite car, my favorite hot rod, was a 1974 Chevy Monte Carlo. And if you ain't talking about a land yacht right there, you got 6.5 foot of just hood. That thing was a land yacht. But it also boasted about 920 horsepower and would jerk the front wheels right straight up off the ground, and it was street legal. And everybody always used to give me crap. Oh, dude, you ought to take this motor, put it in a lighter car, take this and put it in a lighter car, do this and put it in a lighter car. And I'd sit there and look at them and laugh and say, yeah, but mine's already outrunning yours, so why do I need a lighter car? But yeah, I like to build the off-the-wall stuff. I like to build oddball stuff, strange stuff that people wouldn't think of. So I have been working on stuff. My Big Boss Jim memorial build is still under work, but that's an extensive job. I mean, I'm putting in door jambs and door sills, and I completely cut and threw away the entire interior pod to it, and I'm scratch building an entire interior for it. You know, it's an extensive job, and it's not something you get done in a month or 2 months or 3 months. It may be another 6 months before it comes light of day finished. But when it gets done, you guys will be able to see the kind of work I really do. Just like the 58 Chevy, I figure it's probably going to take me about another 12 months. Unless something changes, or I come up with a different idea of where I'm going with this car, it's probably going to take me another year to complete, because the bodywork alone, I've got 2 years into this car as it is. Just shaving all the chrome and redistributing some of the body lines, and you know, and it's because I'm very tedious, I'm very picky. And I know that's part of my problem. I'm a very picky, precise, pain in the ass, nitpicky bastard when it comes to my own vehicles, my own models, because it's just how I am. My family tells me all the time, I'm a perfectionist to a fault. And I agree with them. And lately I've been trying to push myself away from that utmost perfection or never happy. Because that's part of this whole hobby, is you're supposed to be happy. And when I'm not making myself happy doing it, I'm not doing it for the right reasons anymore. So on some of these builds, I just push myself away from it, because I'm starting to force myself to say, okay, I've got this project and this project, and I know these are going to be long-term projects, because these projects have to be perfect. But the rest of these few over here, I just want to build them to build them. So if they're not perfect, if something's just a little tweaked, and it's not something that's going to make your eye go directly to it and go, oh my God, this guy sucks, then yeah, so be it. You know, if the seats got a little bit more shiny than I wanted them, or you know, there's one little tiny spot on the very bottom of the body where the paint just had the minutest little flaw, nah, I ain't gonna reshoot the whole car just for that. So anyway, yeah, I tried to do the 48-hour build. It didn't work out. The box stock build, I tried to take part in that too. I went out and I bought a 62 Ford Thunderbird AMT kit, which I know I swore I'd kill myself before I bought another AMT kit. But I bought the special edition that had all the extra parts, and I put a lot of work into it. And I got it to where it was all done except the body. And I started spraying the body. And I guess somewhere in the sanding and washing, or somewhere, somehow, I ended up with mold release on the car, and it didn't. And I painted it, and it looked perfect. The base coat was perfect, and I let it dry for 2 days, and I went back and I wet sanded it down, and I taped up my secondary base coat because I was going for a multicolored candy black to purple paint job, and did my second coat, my second color, and man, still looked good. And then I went through and did some more taping and wet sanding, then taping. And when I sprayed the last coat, it looked good till I pulled the tape off. And when I did, it pulled off chunks of paint all the way to the plastic. I mean, primer and all. And I use lacquer-based primers, and you would think those would cut through. If they're sticking through 2 or 3 coats of paint and tape being pulled on and off, you would think that stuff would stay. Nope. It peeled all over the place. I was furious. I wanted to light it on fire, throw firecrackers at it, and then stomp on it. But instead, it went back in the purple pond. I again painted it. Got to the second stage, and as soon as I peeled the tape off, again, paint and primer. So, put it back in the purple pond. Third time out of the purple pond, I wet sanded it, and as I was wet sanding it, I realized that all of the lettering and insignias for the car started to strip. They were becoming invisible. And part of the rules of it was no removing of stuff. So to me, that automatically canceled me out as far as box stock went, because it was no longer box stock. It was shaving stuff off. So I threw it back in the purple pond. It's been there for a week now. I'm letting it go completely down to plastic once again. This will be the fourth time. And then I'll get it out and sand it down and prime the hell out of it and paint it all up again, and you know, what have you. But anyway, here's the interior. Yeah, this lighting sucks so bad. But anyway, as you can see, there's no wires or nothing on it. I went totally box stock with it, like we were supposed to do. And man, it was looking good. There's the bottom of it. I was down to the point where all I had left was painting the body, and 3 tries, no success. So, you know, it is what it is. It'll get done when it's done. I got to change batteries here, so this will be round 2 here in a minute. But anyway, Cancer Build, still working on it. Had to purple pond it. That was my own fault this time. I did something I shouldn't have done. I tried to mix paint media. I tried to use a water base over top of enamel, and when I peeled the tape up that time, it did mess it up. But that was my own fault, because when I did it, I grabbed the wrong damn roll of masking tape. I grabbed regular masking tape instead of the yellow painter's tape that I'd been using, and boy, it ripped it up good. So that one's in the pond. So in the meantime, I've been kind of tinkering with this one, but we'll get to that one more later in another video. But anyway, fellas, be right back. This battery is about to die on us. And we're back. Okay, so anyway, as you guys have seen, I'm kind of tinkering with stuff. Matter of fact, I'll show you here real quick. This is my cancer awareness build. Hit it from you too quick. I think you guys will get a kick out of that one when I get the video up for it. But anyway, Chevy Cheeseburger. Man, that video that you took down, brother, I didn't see any reason to take it down. Anybody that took offense to it, I think they need to get a grip. My attitude on criticism is this: criticize all you want. If I can learn something from it, great. If you're telling me something I already know, I'll thank you for it anyway. You won't hardly ever get a nasty response out of me. If you come on my channel and you decide to post stuff just being an obnoxious ass, I just block and delete you. Because the reality of it is so far the only obnoxious people that I've seen is mainly just idiots that don't know how to build anything of their own, or have never shown anybody that they've even tried. Those mainly seem to be the obnoxious people. They just like to float around on the internet, watch random videos, and just post stupid crap. So yeah, criticize away. I'm always open for some constructive criticism. Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me, oh dude, your motor would look better if you'd use some photo etch, or the outside of the car would look better if you use some photo etch, or boy, that Keller would have popped if you'd use a candy Keller, you're telling me things I already know. I can't afford that kind of stuff. I wish I could. I really do. Those days are gone for me right now. You know, back before my ex-wife burned everything I owned because she was mad that I got tired of her drug habit, I would have thought nothing of buying a $30 kit, throwing $30 of photo etch on it, $20 worth of wheels and tires, $15 worth of each coat of color of paint, and I'd have thought nothing of it. But these days, it ain't happening, can't afford it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I wish the hell I could. Because I know I got a few people that have commented on my channel, yeah, you talk a big game, but, you know, you ain't showing us. Well, you know, hey, my attitude to those two people, and you know who they are, and they're not even from this community. You send me the kit of your choice, the photo etch, and whatever else you want put on it, and I'll send you back a museum piece. Simple as that. I've done it. I've got models in museums. I've got private individuals which have purchased some of my ship models for thousands of dollars. That was my big line down in Florida that I used to do for a financial business of my own. I used to build ship models, and I used to scratch build some of them. One of the ships I worked on was a 8.5 foot replica of the USS Saratoga. And that was a club joint effort. I've built 1/350th scale model of the USS Saratoga from World War II, completely from scratch, right down to the aircraft on the deck and everything. I made all those molds and everything myself. I've got no problem. You want to spend the money, if you can afford to buy that stuff, and you want to send it to me just for me to show you, brother, bring it on. I'll make you cry. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say that I'm like, you know, better than Doc Cranky or any of them. It's not about that. I'm not better than anyone out there, because I'll tell you right now, I'll F a paint job up or screw up a part in a heartbeat, just like anybody else will. I'm just saying that when it comes to purchasable upgrades, I don't have the money. I don't have the finances to blow that kind of cash just to make it that much more pretty or realistic. Some of the stuff that I do to make the stuff that I do realistic is not purchasable. It's rather cheap. It takes a little bit of time, but it has the same effect. And when I do get some time where I'm not working 14-hour days, one of the videos I plan on doing is showing how to completely build, scratch build, a 1/24th or 1/25th scale HEI distributor, because that's how much detail I know. When you go to these shows and you're looking at Chevrolet products, any GM product, from 74 to about 88, 87, 88, right when they went to the coil packs, those distributors were not coiled distributors. They were HEI ignition systems. It was an internal coil pack inside of the cap, inside of the distributor cap. So you didn't have an extra spark plug wire going out anywhere. So I will show you guys how to make those. Really easy. When you see how to do them, you'll see them popping up everywhere. Trust me, I probably made 100 prototypes and probably threw 100 prototypes in the garbage before I finally hit on the right combination to make it work. And make it quick and make them look real as hell, because you even have the brass stubs sticking up off the distributor cap instead of just a hole to stick a wire in. I do use distributors that I buy from Model Master or whoever else, anywhere I can get them cheap at the time. But on a lot of the cars, I make them myself. I have to. Same with coils. I have to carve them out. That's one of the reasons why I bought the stuff to get back to resin casting, because I'm tired of sitting there repetitively making certain parts to use on my cars. I'm going to be coming out with the Street 4-barrel Edelbrock carburetor. So once I get the master finished and get the mold done and so forth, I might, be putting some of them out on a limited supply kind of thing, because I don't want to spend every night sitting here for 10 hours just doing nothing but pouring resin molds. One of the things I did build, it's not within reach right now, or I'd get it. I did build it from start to finish. Was the Trumpeter? No. Minicraft 1935 Morris 1935 three-wheeler. Morgan 1935 Morgan three-wheeler. Guys, if any of you have bought this kit and have not yet started it, please wait till this coming weekend. I'm going to be doing a video on just this car. Don't start it yet. You'll regret it. I regret purchasing it. There's more flaws in this kit than, and it's not something you would expect. And trust me when I say this thing is actually below AMT level in places. It was completely and utterly frustrating, because the parts are beautiful for the most part, but nothing goes together properly. None of it. None of the alignment points are close. The parts are tweaked. They're like warped. And it's not warps in the plastic. It's like somebody just absolutely screwed up. Bring them joints together and pinned to hole marks. None of it lines up. And the glass is atrocious. It looks like you took pieces of a plastic milk jug to make the glass. It's so hazy, and there's actual streaks and lines in it. It's bad. It's really bad. And I'll show you guys, like I said, this weekend I'll do a video on this kit. I just finally got to the point where I got it to look halfway decent, threw it to hell together and threw it on a shelf, just because it was too frustrating. I bought the kit simply to build it as a quick, easy, non-detailed build, just because it's an oddity. Like I said, I like to build the oddities. 35 Morgan three-wheeler. That's a rare car. It's an odd car. Bad kit. And there's a reason why Ollie's is selling that kit for next to nothing. And there's a reason why they have piles of them. And that's where I got mine, was at Ollie's. I bought several other kits from that Ollie's. It's like a Big Lots, buyout place. I bought several other kits, a lot of good kits, AMT, Lindbergh, Revell. They were $750 and $950 a piece, and I bought 6, I think. And as I build them, I'll show you. But that Morgan is just it was pitiful. It was so frustrating. I literally almost just threw it back in the box and threw it on a shelf and said, "To hell with it. It's a parts car." And it takes a lot to get me that frustrated. It really does. But I'll do a video on that here soon. That way you guys can get a look at it and give you some pointers on where it's bad and what you might be able to do to fix it. Anyway, I know this video is really long. I guess I was just trying to accomplish something here because I know it's been a while since I've been on here. You know, I've got issues where I can't get money on my PayPal card, which frustrates me to no end because I want the Cranky calendar so bad because one of my cars is in there. You know, it would be nice to at least have one to put in my scrapbook and say, hey, you know, look, I actually accomplished something here, you know. And I'm not a big one on the model shows anymore. I used to be, but there's not any shows close to me that I can afford to go to. You know, it's either too far out of my driving range or too financially, you know, whatever. But so, you know, for me, that's, you know, that's a big accomplishment to me. It's in a published, you know, calendar that's like, that means more to me than winning a first place in a model show. It really does. But anyway, you know, so as soon as I can figure out a way to make that happen, I will. If Doc has any left by then, who knows? I don't know. That's pretty much it for now. Probably Sunday. Let's see, this is Wednesday. Yeah, Sunday I'm off. Finally. Last Sunday I got called in. I was going to do a video last Sunday, but I got called in. But I do believe this Sunday they said they've got it covered, so I'll actually have a day off. And I'll do that review on that Morgan kit. And, you know, get a little more in depth and progress as far as kits go. This is something I've been tinkering with, and it's getting there. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in it, or that light's just probably too bright, but yeah, that's something I'm working on. I cut it down to the bare frame and started reworking it, built my own rear fender, working a seat into it, a lot of little tinkers. Those are the kind of things I've been doing with my 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, no time to do nothing else, so this is what I'm doing. But, alright fellas, been watching all the videos, a lot of great stuff rolling around. Sorry I haven't been able to finish anything in time for any of the group builds lately. I'd have got in on this Lone Star group build, but shoot, I ain't got enough time right now to worry about it. I guess till, you know, later this weekend. Take care.